Capital Group. DBL Group is 15. So you see, there are people. And this is an annual event which BSHRM has successfully been conducting. Now, I remember in the past, there was a session with the employers. So it's not that the format changes from year to year, but of course, without the employers, I mean, where will we be? So definitely we are thinking about the employers and we have to be engaged with them. Thank you.
Yeah, I like to add another point. I like to see in other way around. First of all, so of course, the earlier speaker says is right. Then they create employment for whom? So it's for us, with the people, with the human resource who will contribute to their business. So we like to focus on that broader area. That is, we are trying to develop our resources so that they can be competitive and they have that capability to fulfill the requirement of that employer, because they create the organization or they initiate that organization is not run by only him. He will need the human resources from the market is us. So we are focusing on that area as well, to develop our people as a resource to be competitive and to add value to that organization. Thank you.
Next question.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to convey my thanks to BSHRM and MetLife for organizing such a resourceful program. My question is that we all know in most of the local companies, the owners of the organizations, they hardly realize the importance of the practice of HR, or they are ignoring what the HR is doing. They are thinking that HR is only the cost incurring department of the organization. So my question to you is that, do you have any plans to bring all the business owners or some of the local or multinational companies business owners under one umbrella to make them aware of the importance of HR? So do you have any plan?
May I?
Yes.
I like to request you to focus on your value addition. So why they didn't able to see what is their objective? Their objective to get ROI of that investment. So as an HR professional, we have to see our value addition, our ROI on HR initiatives. So then, if we able to see them that every single initiatives will give him a sustainable return in a compliant way, surely they will understand the importance of HR. Of course, we will run our initiatives, and it's not enough. All the time, BSHRM will invite the entrepreneurs and say, okay, HR is valuing organization, and you just give them job. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Rather, with the HR professionals who are in the organization, we would able to see the value addition to the business owners. Then surely they will understand and they will treat differently. Then they will start saying that HR is my strategic business partner, for which we are struggling. Thank you very much.
Just to add with Nazrul, our General Secretary, since we are in a disadvantaged position, HR, owners are in the advantageous position. They have a choice to make. We do not have a choice but to convince them, motivate them, and take us to the HR line. I think we have to play a very proactive and affirmative action so that they realize our contributions. And in the morning discussion, I tried to show how we can contribute in the company. And I tell you, if you see that your managing director, your owners are calling you, consulting you, this is the sign that you are contributing to the company. So we have to take our level to that level so that company recognize that we are adding value. And if they recognize, I think they will then request that organize something where we can understand HR. To conclude your question, definitely, in the past also we had some program like CU's Night, CU's program. In future, we will also try to think to organize something exclusively with the CEOs and owners, that would be an added advantage. So thank you.
Moshak bhai, let me share one example. We are saying that HR people can be the CEO or can be the global leader like that. We are struggling with that. Did the HR people have that capability to be such a leader? We have few examples. Say, one of renowned HR professional in this country and ex-treasurer of BSHRM, Mr. Babur Bhai is here. He is the district governor of Lions. So this is great achievement for the HR professionals. We should clap for him. So this is lots of example is there in the market. We are doing good. So we have to ensure our value addition to the organization.
We will take maximum 2 more questions. Yes.
I do agree with Nazrul Bhai that we have to prove our potentiality first and to be competent. Otherwise, the employer cannot value us. We should add value to the business. Thank you.
Can I have the mic to the person?
Yes.
Where is the mic?
Right here.
I'm
Qazi
Mohammed is a renowned trainer and past EC member. I'm scared.
Thank you very much, sir. I just have a couple of observations. I know the conference chair, by the way, I'm also the president of Bangladesh Organization for Learning and Development, apart from being a trainer. Anyway, I have a couple of comments and then a quick question. Comments are related, or rather a response to our conference chair, what he has said. He wanted some suggestions and also, let's say, he wanted to know how the next conference it could be even better. But I think you in the AEC are in a best position to also discuss among yourselves. But I would rather point out one of the best things that has happened today is the SHRM certification has been introduced in Bangladesh. This is a big achievement. I think we can thank BSHRM for that. I mean, I'm not so young, but if I were in my 30s, I would just tomorrow enroll for it and be aligned with the global certification such as that. So this is my first one. For the first time, I also see people from so many other countries. I mean, of course, occasionally a keynote speaker would come from the US or UK or Australia. Of course, we have a keynote speaker from Australia today as well. But also from many other countries in the Southeast Asia. That's amazing. I think that was a big value addition, and we know why it happened, because our president also is the president of BSHRM. So that's the reason. So I wanted to highlight, I don't know, recently I've been reading a lot about positivity, so I have to emphasize on the positive side, and I think EC would be the best judge to find out how to improve. But if I were to say one last comment about improvement, I think some of our colleagues were discussing, maybe in the next year, one topic that could be very relevant is, in 2021, Bangladesh will be celebrating 50 years of independence, and you can actually, we can discuss in the next year what skills we need for our national development, which is also this year's topic. So that's about it. My quick question, finally, is this. We did discuss about a long journey for Bangladesh, or even for many other countries as well, perhaps for Vietnam, for other countries in the region. I mean, it could be Thailand, even Malaysia. But I'm saying, specifically from Bangladesh, did we do anything that contributed in the global arena, either in the for-profit sector, non-profit sector? I'm talking specifically about the HR field, whether it's related to talent development, whether it's related to coming up with an innovative practice that others would talk about. I think that's my question. Is there anything in Bangladesh we have been able to create that we can proudly present to others, which is being emulated? I personally want to be enlightened. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the time you gave me.
So anyone from the panel? If If not, then I can take it.
Thank you very
There is a question. Anyway, thank you. Well, see, global practices, we have to transfer best practice. This I see mostly in multinationals and increasingly in large global corporates that we have. But unfortunately, by and large, for instance, generally in the garment sector, this is not so prevalent. I think it all depends on having good corporate governance also. So without good corporate governance being embedded, you cannot expect HR transformation. I think we had a lot of discussion on HR transformation, very interesting discussion. But the foundation is good corporate governance, because these corporate houses, they have to feel that that transformation needs to happen. Without that, it will not happen. Others can add if you want to. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarabhai. I can share my one experience. While I was in telco, my previous colleagues, three of them, they are leading in different organizations in Malaysia, in India, and in Europe. Two of them in heading HR roles. So you can see that from Bangladesh, we HR people are not only that within the country, we are also leading in outside of the country, and they are working in multinational, big multinational telco companies. Thank you.
Okay, last question. Mike, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, since you have a mic, I cannot take it. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for giving me the floor. I'm Imfaz Naveed. I'm an alumnus of Deffer International University Business School, and I'm a budding entrepreneur. Okay, my question is, in Bangladesh, most of the organizations don't have an industry or organizational psychologist. Now, this affects the talent management. So how can we infuse such culture in Bangladeshi corporational sector? Thank you.
Can you repeat your question?
Come again, please.
Can you repeat your question?
Sir, my question was, most of the organizations in Bangladesh don't have any organizational psychologist. Now, this affects the talent management of the respective organizations. So how can we infuse such culture in Bangladeshi corporate sector?
Did you get Sarar Bhai? Psychologist in that.
In large corporates, you can have, people have these psychometric tests done for recruitment and also talent management, maybe. But yeah, in Bangladesh, at least I'm not familiar with any company in Bangladesh having, so I think we are far behind in that respect. So I don't know why you mentioned this, because you see, there are several stages of development that we need to pass through or go through before we can have such a thing in Bangladesh. That's what I believe. I don't know if any one of you can add.
Yeah, you probably mentioned one part of the talent management, which, as Saurabh said, in a large organization you can have that, but generally there are other parts of the talent management. You said without that talent management cannot be done. That is not actually right. There are a lot of other components where talent management considered. Musharraf Bhai already explained, and some of the panel members already explained. So I think we'll have to consider on those areas. If you can have that, the psychologists, but generally, HR people, they are also mostly working with the people. So if not certified psychologists, but they also work with psychology, I think. Yeah.
But I would like to really thank you for bringing this issue in this conference. Presence of psychologists in the organization ensured that we are hiring a person who is also mentally fit for the organization. Thank you. The last question. Do you have a mic?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I am Barrister Faiz Ahmed, Advocate Bangladesh Supreme Court. My question is very specific. The guiding law in Bangladesh regarding HR is labor law and labor rules, as we know. This is my personal opinion is that this name, the labor law and labor rules, is very confusing sometimes. Sometimes. Some employer, not all of them, they misunderstand this law. Some employer misuse this law. They think this is only applicable to garments or factory. Some employers think this is not applicable to them. And all over the developed world, such kind of law is named like employment law. My question is very specific. BSHRM, do you have any plan to convince our lawmaker, I mean the legislative authority, to convince them to change the title of the law, which should be, as I think, employment law instead of labor law? Thank you very much.
It's nice to do, but you know that changing anything in the government sector, sometimes it takes a decade. You are right that the labor group has something, law support. People like us, we do not have anything for the managers, officers, and it is necessary. And some organizations, they comply the labor law for everyone in terms of gratuity, PF, and other things. And some organizations, they are absolutely using this only for the laborers.